Last time we said interviewing is a lot like dating. What if you've been on a lot of first dates and that's it? And you haven't got a call back and you would love to know what's going on. And maybe you'd love to know what exactly does this interviewer want? I'm going to show you what they want, so stick around. Hey everyone, welcome to SuperCharge. My name is Sonal and this channel is all about giving you practical tips on how to supercharge your career. Who am I? I'm an HR director with over 15 years of experience and I have a pretty good idea of what it's like to interview someone, and I've done it thousands of times. So let's get started. Now, what exactly is an interviewer looking for? I've made an acronym which is sort of easy to remember, and let's get into it. So are you ready? The acronym, what the interviewer is exactly looking for is beautiful eyelashes. Yes, you heard me correctly. And you're probably thinking, is this woman absolutely nuts? I am a little bit, but that's not what that's not what this is about. I stand by what I said. HEP, lash. That's the framework I'd like you to remember, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, the H in HEP is hungry. They are looking for someone who really wants this job, who's hungry for it. Even if you're shopping, and that's okay. When you get a call and you're not exactly looking, but you're curious, go ahead. That's not a problem. It's okay to go shopping. Now, how exactly can you show someone that you're hungry? Other than obviously state the obvious, I'd love to work here if you could give me a chance, etc., etc. You could also basically show that you're always learning, because when you're learning, you're growing. And you could show that you've made an effort to upgrade your skills. You are volunteering, because when you're volunteering, you're also learning. When you give, you learn, right? So that's H, and that's hungry. So the E in HEP stands for energy. Sometimes when you meet someone and you leave the room and you think, oh wow, there was this energy in the room, I was really worn down. Yeah, it wasn't the room, it was the person. And you don't want to be that person who comes across as worn down, etc. So how do you do that? Very easy ways. First of all, you have to make sure you get a good night's sleep. Oh yeah, it shows in your body language and how you speak. So that's important. And once you are sitting down, it's important that you're not slouching. Makes a huge difference in how you come across. And the third easy way to do it is smile. When you're listening to someone and they're telling you something and you're focusing in terms of what they're saying, you don't realize sometimes it can happen involuntary that you're involuntarily frowning. So try not to do that if you can. I'm not saying smile like a monkey and look ridiculous, but smiling has a huge impact on how you are perceived as a person. It comes across as someone positive. And lastly, the intonation. So yes, I would like to speak with you about my time in the banking sector. I was there. No intonation. What if you have an inflection in your voice? Yeah, I'd love to speak to you about the time I was in the banking sector. That was really interesting. You see what I did there? So there's a huge difference in energy as well. Now the P in HEP is potential. Ooh, what is that? Potential for what? Potential to do more. Can this person take on more than what they will be hired in terms of the job? Could they take on more senior roles, more general management roles? Could they take on roles that haven't even been created yet? Potential is basically a combination of two things. So excellent performance, someone who's constantly delivering, and someone who's constantly learning as well, learning agility. You hear that a lot, learning agility, and you do need a combination of both, because that means the organization can trust you with stretch assignments. What is a stretch assignment? Something that's completely out of your comfort zone that you can do, because you not only asked for it, but you also show that you can do it in terms of capability. So you do need both. And potential is a lot rarer than you might realize. There's only 3 to 5% of the entire organization that's classified as extremely high potential. And that's why you can understand that talent, good talent, is really hard to find. So that's HEP for you. Now then, let's go to the beautiful eyelashes. The L in lash is long term. So what that means is, are you going to stick around? Or will you be leaving at the drop of a hat? That's the question to ask. And think about it. The company will invest anything from 2 to 8 months training you, making sure you're ready. And by the time you're completely independently working and you can make fantastic, important decisions autonomously, is anything from 8 months to 1.5 years within the company. And if you leave around that time that you're there, that's a waste of time and investment that the company put in you. So obviously they want someone who's going to stick around. And how will they check? Actually, that is the hardest thing for interviewers to check. Past experience in your CV is one indicator of it. It's not the only indicator. So if you've, let's say, had a lot of changes in your CV, and the person wants to judge you for it and say, yeah, so you've been shuffling around a lot and they've already made a decision, don't worry about it. Don't waste your time. They are not worth your time. However, when you do go in, make sure you have important rationale as to why you made those changes. The A in lash is attitude. And for me, attitude is the glue that brings the entire HEP lash together. What is attitude? We all know what it means. For me, it's basically how does this person view the world and how do they view themselves. So someone who's positive and who's authentic and they have a can-do mentality. You hear this a lot. You see this a lot in job descriptions when they have vacancies. Can-do mentality and a winning attitude. You see that a lot, right? So someone who's not going to give up and not make excuses. And there's an old expression, winners never quit, quitters never win. But that's it. That really is it. That's the attitude that they're looking for. And now the S in lash is my favorite one. I mean, they're all really nice and they're all important, but S for me is it. S is soft skills. And don't be fooled by the word soft. These are extremely difficult. And in fact, there's someone in VaynerMedia called Claude Silver, who's the HR head, and she calls these life skills. I love that. We're talking about extremely strong communication skills. We're talking about how do you get along with people in a team? How do you influence people? How are you at problem solving? What about your level of empathy? Articulation skills. How do you articulate your thoughts into words? You see? Wow. So these are soft skills, but they're everything when it comes to interviewing. You hear this a lot. Yeah, my hard skills, but my soft skills. Speaking of which, hard skills. The funny thing is, hard skills are already there. You don't really have to work towards them unless you're currently a student and you're working towards your hard skills. What are hard skills? It's your university degree. So it's your education. It's your work experience, the field that you've chosen to be in, your business acumen, level of what languages you have. Those are examples of hard skills. So hard skills are actually teachable. Soft skills are harder to teach. So we have an expression in HR, the soft stuff is the hard stuff. And the hard stuff's already there. So chances are that the person looked at your CV and screened the hard skills before they called you in for an interview. So that's it. That's the HEP lash framework. Now, long story short, you do need all of these. I come across great candidates who have energy, potential, long-term orientation, the right attitude, excellent soft skills. I hate that word, life skills, but I couldn't have lash without the S, so I kept it. And H, of course, the hard skills. But this person is very low on hunger. I'm not really sure they want the job. You see, that's a problem. Same with, they have, let's say, all of the skills, but they don't have the energy and they kind of just look a bit or they have everything but they don't have potential, so they may not grow, so that's less interesting. Or they have everything but they don't have long term, you're not gonna, you're not sure they're gonna stick around. Or attitude, need I say more? It's pretty clear. So if I had to choose that I can live without one, guess which one? It would be the hard skills. Oh yeah. I have come across great candidates and I've hired them for roles, for example, in finance or marketing and other roles, where you see that they really want it, they're hungry to learn, they have a fantastic attitude, and they get by. Not only do they get by, they actually do really well. So that is the one I am most inclined to slide. Here it is. This is the Haplash framework. Whether you're someone who's starting out in your career, or you're someone, either you're a new kid on the block or you've been around the block, it doesn't matter. Hopefully this is useful for you. And I've also made a free PDF that you can see in the description box below with the Haplash framework and some questions on each of the letters of the acronym that make you think a little bit about yourself. And if you like this, it goes without saying, I'd love your comments. I'd love it if you could share this with your friends. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Ciao.